Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is gonna look a little bit different. I'm inviting my friend Brandon, who you might recognize from my Instagram, on to take over this platform for a day, and it makes more sense to amplify his voice in light of Black History Month. I asked those of you who follow my Instagram to ask any honest questions, any hot topics, even the uncomfortable ones that you'd like to, get his perspective on as a person of color. I selected a few, we reviewed them together, and then formalized them. As promised, I've kept them all anonymous. Now, I know that it's really incumbent upon me to educate myself, to unlearn and to relearn and to grow. So I'm truly just grateful that Brandon's even stopping by to have this conversation with me and with us to enlighten us both. All right, Brandon, so you want to give a quick little intro about yourself?
Hi, I am Brandon Patterson, an educator, artist, activist based in Los Angeles, born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio, the greatest city on earth. And I'm happy to be here with you all to talk about all things Blackness.
So if somebody has their dating app to exclude certain races in the filtered settings, or if they have in their bio, no whatever minority group allowed, or something like that, or I'm just not interested in that, what do you believe that to be? Do you believe that that's just a preference, a sexual preference, or do you believe that's just racism?
I did see you on Grindr at one point, and it said...
It didn't say anything of
the people, just so y'all know, he said, I don't want, and it was everything. He had a picture, I want to look like me.
If I've ever had it, I don't even think I've ever had a bio in the first place.
No, even if you think that in your head, it's weird to publicly put that out. Like, I think it's a whole different psychosis that is going on there. Mm-hmm. But I do think that preferences are inherently racist. So if a white person's like, oh, I'm just not into black guys, right? I feel as if that is really tied into a couple of things. One of them is standards of beauty. We know that our standards of beauty are very racist because they are Eurocentric. Mm-hmm. We also just have segregated and non-inclusive communities. If you grew up around all white people, right, you are naturally going to find that to be attractive. But understanding that segregation is a racist policy, and it's for that reason alone. People did not want white and black people having babies and getting married. It was against the law. And so you said you can't live in the same neighborhood, you can't go to the same school, you can't use the same bathrooms, you can't. And so all of that is based off of racism. We have to realize that who we choose to love or who we choose to find beautiful or who we choose to find attractive, that those things are
learned.
Yeah, they're learned through our racist society and world.
Defunding the police can still be a jarring idea for some people. In one sentence, can you sum up what this idea actually means?
The overall premise of defunding the police is the way that our city, so for example, the city of Los Angeles, the amount of money that pours into LAPD, it's disgusting. And you look at the same amount of money that's going to, or the budget for our schools, or the budget for homelessness, all of these other things that feed into our criminal justice system, that's where the money should be going. And that's what defunding the police means, is that our cities are given X amount of dollars. What we need to do is to reconfigure the budget to be able to be more preventative than reactive. How could we be proactive versus reactive?
All right, so the next question is about allyship. So as a non-POC, and this is my question, as a non-person of color, oftentimes it's candidly just a bit uncomfortable for me to advocate on behalf of somebody who struggles I'll never truly be able to identify with. What do you believe to be my role, to be our role?
For me, it's less about allyship and more about co-conspirators or becoming a co-conspirator. A co-conspirator is somebody being like, I am going to help you gain what you deserve, not what you want, mm-hmm. to gain what is rightfully yours. Mm-hmm. And since I benefit from this, mm-hmm. I am willing to give it all back in order for that. How can you give things up in order to balance the playing field? People don't want to talk about affirmative action, but I am a firm believer, people don't like to hear this, that I don't understand, how do you not combat discrimination with the opposite discrimination? Like, that is how you think about the scales of justice. That is how you balance the scales.
Have you experienced racism within the gay community, and how does that compare and contrast to racism outside of it?
I have experienced racism within the gay community, and it's very prevalent. And I would love for Black, trans, queer, gay, bi, lesbian, questioning, all people to continue to come together in spaces and to have those conversations, because there are so many great conversations going on right now in the Black community that are talking about the aggressive racism that we experience on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, so when we look at the rhetoric of some of the greats like MLK, Obama, Malcolm X, etc., we see the word unity a lot. In recent times, I've heard the position that we can no longer accept unity if it's at the expense of human rights. Do you believe that meaningful change can happen for the Black community without unity?
For sure. Yeah, I think that all of the progression, when you think about even back to slavery, that was the most divisive time in our history. It did not take unity to end slavery. It took people who wanted to end slavery. So I don't think that we need this like over resounding sense of unity, because I also think that that's just like, for me, it isn't realistic. I think that it only takes a small group of people to want to do better, to create change.
If you could share just one message to America right now, what would it be?
One, I don't have a message to America.
Or to the world.
But I will, something that is on my heart, that I will share with you would be, and really to Black people, what I always try to really uplift my friends and let them know, we as Black people do not need to be saved by anybody other than ourselves. That it's in our blood, it's in our existence, it's in who we are, it's in our heritage, our lineage, and I don't want any white person who is watching this to think that, Black people need to be saved, or let me go and donate to them, for this or what. Whatever you want to do that. Please do not give yourself a pat on the back for it. Please do not give yourself a cookie for it. Please do not be like, I'm a better person now, because I, as a Black person, I think that others would agree with me, we are not asking for anything. We are just living in this world saying what will and what will not happen, what we will and what we will not accept. We are fine, we are beautiful, we are amazing, we are not only surviving but thriving. So I just definitely want people to know that we are good out here, and that Black people are watching this. You are good, you are beautiful. We got this, so just keep on keeping on.
Yes. Okay, to wrap things up, Brandon has a really, really, really exciting project coming up, and he's just going to tell you a little bit more about it.
Yes, so I am blessed to be executive producing and directing and writing the audio play version of Dreamgirls on Clubhouse. The entire production team is 100% Black. The cast is 99.999% Black as well. And we're closing out Black History Month. The official Clubhouse closing out of it is our show. So I'm excited for you all to hopefully be there and to see the magic of Dreamgirls.
When is it?
February 27th, February 28th on Clubhouse at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. So 4 shows, 4 different casts. So come each time to see a complete different vibe and energy, and I promise you don't want to miss it. We've been in Essence, Insider, BuzzFeed. We trended #2 on Twitter just for our audition process. So don't miss out on this.
Brandon, I love you. You know I love you. Thank you so much. You obviously didn't have to do this. We're super grateful to have you speak about this important topic, and thank you for coming. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope that it was educational. I hope it was informative, and I hope that it impacted you in some positive way. With that, I'm going to check out for the day. Ciao. Nos vemos.